Hello everybody, welcome to glorious Cumbria. It really is a perfect day here for the promotion playoff final between Workington Town here at Derwent Park and Doncaster. Fantastic occasion for both clubs, but what a big day it is. This is the one that you really want to win. You certainly don't want to lose a grand final. I'm delighted I've got Andrew Henderson to talk me through the game. It's great to see you again, Hendo. This is what rugby league is all about, and it's great to see the fans arriving here.
Yeah, it is. Look, we know from past history, Cumbria is a heartbeat of rugby league, and like I said, I've got no doubt today we're going to have a large crowd assemble to support their team, Workington Town, and try and help them get across the line to get them into the championship. But as you rightly said, John, this is the Betfred League One Grand Final. This is a huge game, a huge occasion for both teams. Both have earned the right to be in this stage of the competition. Workington, I feel, have had a fairly decent season. They've been pretty consistent across the board. Exchanged the top position with Barrow a couple of times, but obviously ended up finishing second. Doncaster, for me, had a bit of a late surge towards the playoffs, sort of found some form at the back end. So it's going to make for an interesting game. But Workington, I think, would start favourites here today at home.
And one big incentive for them, they want to be up there with Whitehaven and Barrow in the championship.
Oh, absolutely. And I think probably, I think all the Cumbrian clubs would enjoy that, having three Cumbrian clubs in the one division, again for the fan base, and that to be able to get across and see each other and create that real rivalry and derby sort of atmosphere. It'd be fantastic. So yeah, look, there's a lot of incentive for Workington to get up there, John, as you rightly said, to be up there with the other two clubs that are already in the next season in Barrow and Whitehaven.
We both saw Doncaster win in the most extraordinary circumstances last week.
Unreal.
Are they going to build on that and believe this has got to be our year now?
Well, look, I think, like I said, Doncaster have just, towards the back end of this League One campaign, they've sort of been going under the radar. They've just started to just come good at the right time, if that makes sense. I don't think they've been at their best, but they've just found a way to get themselves into this playoff campaign, because it was a late tussle at the back end of the season. There was a number of teams that could have made that playoffs top six, but Doncaster found a way to get in there, and then they've just they've come up with a couple of incredible performances. More noteworthy, the one last week where they literally won the game. The last play of the game, it was unreal how they done that. Showed a lot of character to stay in the fight, John. Because they were 14 points down with 12 minutes to go, and they scored 16 points in that last 12 minutes to go and win the game and get themselves an opportunity to earn the right to be promoted to the championship.
You gather Hendo's excited, I'm excited, let's get on with it.
Chris, how big a day is this for Workington Town?
Oh, look, this club's got lots of history behind it. Challenge cups and league titles, but that was a long time ago. I guess of the last 10 years or so, John. It's a hugely significant game for us. It's, you know, I didn't come here to linger in League One. You know, this opportunity's presented itself a little bit earlier than thought. You know, with a fairly inexperienced squad behind us, but they've learned and evolved every single week, and we sit here, you know, on the edge of something special, I think.
When I arrived this morning, there were 2 or 3 people in there who said they'd never slept last night. It was such a big game.
Yeah, it's well, my staff and, you know, all the volunteers and, you know, the board and, you know, and pretty much everybody that we rely on for the day-to-day runnings of the club are way more nervous than me or any of my players, and whether that's a good thing or not, I'm not so sure, but I'm going to take that as a good thing. You know, we've prepared well. You know, we've played Doncaster a couple of times. I've said openly they're the best team that we've come across this year, but we just feel ready. We do.
And you both squeaked through in the most dramatic circumstances.
Yeah, certainly. We've got a little bit sorry for Keithley. You know, we mismanaged that second half a little bit, but credit to them, they got themselves back in the game. But then, you know, that golden point scenario, I thought we were really gritty in terms of how we went short off the kick-off, and, you know, and rightly got the penalty for Carl Forber to send us through.
I think it's great there's so many Cumbrians in your side. It's a very much a home-knit team.
Yeah, well, that's not an accident. That was something that we did with purpose. You know, something that'll. It gives a fan something to relate to. It gives the club a real identity when you've got you know, a bunch of proud Cumbrians playing for a Cumbrian side. You know, with a sprinkling of travellers. You know, we've got some people that travel up the M6 and across the M62 and across from Newcastle. So, you know, the balance is really good in the squad. Young, hungry, with a sprinkling of experience, and you know, I really enjoy coaching them. They apply themselves every day we train. You know, and they deserve to be where they're at the minute. And
it's a perfect day. You just need a perfect result.
Yeah, like we were talking earlier, grand final weather in October the 10th. You expect it to be wet and windy, especially in Workington, but you know, the rugby league gods are looking down on us, and they've presented us with an opportunity for us to, you know, maybe throw the ball around a little bit, but anything we do today will be earned by playing through them and defensively doing stuff together.
Good luck.
Thanks, John.
Richard, welcome to sunny Cumbria. Have you got over last week yet?
Yeah, no, it's one of them games where you look back a little bit and say, you know, we've done well to stay in the game and give ourselves an opportunity, and fair play to the players, just finding a way to win, and sometimes in playoff games that's what you've got to do.
Can you build on that? Like, there must be belief that it might be your year when you get through a match like that one.
Look, like watching the game at half time, we're talking, you know, out the 2 coaches. I was probably a little bit happier than probably what Reece would have been, because, you know, the amount of possession and the amount of defence we had to do on our line, and to keep them out with the quality of players that they had. It's just credit to them working hard and staying in there. And we have to be starting better the game. You know, if we give the opposition a start like that, you know, have we got enough in the tank, you know, after the games that we've already played to give ourselves the chance? You know, we don't want to be in that situation.
We all say it's on the day, but is there a psychological effect at all, you having beaten them twice this season?
I think it's just like the Challenge Cup when you're in that, or again, playoffs. It's a completely different game, the way you go about it. League form doesn't really go into it. It's about a one-off performance, and teams can do that. You know, teams can come up with something even if they've got poor form coming into any sort of game. For a one-off game, you seem to find the energy, find something within to spare you on and get the results. So no, I don't think that plays a part. I'm sure Chris has prepared them to the best that they can, and we've done the exact same.
You travelled up yesterday. All the lads tucked up in bed early last night.
Yeah, as well as they can be. Look, everyone prepares differently, so it was just like we left them to it to prepare how they would, as close as they could to how they would when they were at home. So yeah, we've just took that travel element out of it, you know, coming down early. So yeah, the boys are well rested and you know, in good spirits.
And what sort of a match do you think we'll expect to see?
Yeah, look physical. You know, they've got, like, looking at their starting team, they've gone big. You know, they've gone big throughout the squad. The starting 13, so we know we're going to be in with a big physical encounter. So defensively, we have to be good and make sure we control their rucks. Otherwise, you know, they've got players that can really hurt us.
Thanks, Richard. Good luck today.
Cheers. Thank you.
The home of Workington Town, as it has been for so many years, up against a Doncaster side that is still on cloud 9 after the way they conquered Keighley in the semi-final last weekend in one of the most dramatic games I've ever seen in rugby league football. So it's Workington Town against Doncaster, the prize of place in the Championship, and for Workington a massive incentive because their neighbours are in the Championship, of course, both Barrow and Whitehaven. They want it to be a trio of Cumbrians in there. Hendo, delighted to have you alongside me. Doncaster were amazing last week. Their resilience, the character they showed, they've got to do it all again.
Yes, they do. Look, I think it's key for the fixture this week to get off to a better start. I feel that on reflection, probably the start they had against Keighley last week wasn't quite good enough. If they start that way, it may be a different outcome at the end of the game. Like you said, they showed great character and resilience. To show the fighting spirit, to stay in the contest, to score 16 points in the last 12 minutes against a very good Keighley side is no mean feat. So fantastic.
Let's have a look at the two teams then, the way they're going to line up here. And it was interesting that Richard Horn said that Workington have gone big. That was his phrase, that they've gone for the big boy. There's an interesting player at full-back in number 2, Brad Holroyd. He started the season on the wing and he scored in 14 out of the 18 games they've played this season. I reckon that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not a bad return, is it? Not a bad return at all, John, scoring that many tries. But yeah, look, I think, the reason probably Workington have gone big this afternoon is they're playing at home, they're on a tight pitch, it'll be a more forwards-oriented game. Doncaster have got some classy outside backs, as we know, but it may be difficult to go around them today with being on a tight field. So I think the more direct approach that Workington have decided to go with is probably going to be the game plan for them.
Two big names at half-back for Workington Town. Seem to have been around forever, don't they? Jamie Doran and Carl Forber. Real Cumbrians.
Yes. Listen, Carl Forber's been an outstanding servant to this Workington club. I think he's the highest point scorer, is he? For the club, I think, which is an outstanding achievement. But Duran, he's the man for me. He's the pivotal player for Workington. A lot of the creativity and the spark will come off the back of him. He's got great vision, he's got a good kicking game, and he's got a willingness to take the line on and try things. So Doncaster will have to be aware of his talent today and make sure they keep tabs on him.
And I'm going to pick two names out in the Doncaster lineup as well. Matthew Biharrell, he's had a terrific season. We know he's the top point scorer. And Ben Cockayne, amazing, at the age of 38. He retired 2 years ago. Can't stay away from it.
No, he can't. And do you know what? Since Ben Cockayne's come back into the fold, I think he's given him a little bit more around the ruck area there. Just watching him, he's got good deception. He organises the ruck well, organises his forwards well, and he just gives them a different dynamic and threat out of 9. I think that's helped them. I think it's helped Doncaster in their late third, the playoffs, and for advancing here to the grand final.
We're almost set. There's a silver trophy there at the end of the tunnel. The players are going to go past that. As a player, is that a big thing? Was you coming out and there's the trophy? That's what you want to get your hands on.
Yeah, I think it's just a nice little sort of visual there. It's when you do walk out, you see it, you think, you know what, that's what's up for grabs today. That's what we want to be lifting. Just gives you a little bit of incentive as you walk past it. And again, I think it just highlights the showpiece of the event as well, So the trophy's on display there. This is what this game means. It's more than just a trophy, though. To be fair, today is promotion. Promotion to the championship. That means for the club that does go up, John, it's going to be bigger crowds, bigger media coverage, and you're then only one division away from being in the top flight, that is Super League.
You're a young man. I go back a little bit further, and when I think of Workington Town, I think of names like Ike Southwood and Seth Thompson way before your era. But in the days when Workington were a top team, and they won the championship one year, they won the Challenge Cup as well, they were monumental heroes in this town.
Yeah, well, look, I think there's no hiding away from the fact that Cumbria has produced some not only fantastic teams, but fantastic players over the years.
The Dons are in red today. Not sure whether superstition exists at all. They were in blue when they won at Keighley. And Workington Town are in the white. And one question I asked to Richard Horn was, could they build on last week and the momentum of that victory and think this is our year when we win a match like that? Or could it be, we peaked a week ago?
It's a good question, John. I mean, there's always an argument, isn't there, as a fan, as a coach, as a player, that you have a week off, that can do you good because it allows you to sort of freshen the body up, freshen the mind up, almost have more energy for this game. But on the flip side too, it can also knock your rhythm out of kilter as well. There's an argument for playing on each week. It keeps that momentum going.
We're all set. It's the Betfred League One playoff final between Workington Town and Doncaster. Doncaster finished 5th in the table behind Barrow and Workington, North Wales and Keighley. Workington, of course, finished 2nd behind only Barrow Raiders. They lost in the championship in 2000. They were relegated in 2016. That was when they were last in it. And Doncaster have not been there for quite a few years. Massive incentive.
Yeah, look, I know, speaking to Carl Hall, who's heavily involved there at the club, behind the scenes, he's been working extremely hard for 6 years, John, to try and get this club back into the championship. And, I know he's been really excited if they do. But it's a good start there, good contact from Doncaster.
Carl speaks with a similar accent to you.
Slightly different, John. Slightly different. He's talking fish and chops.
Important to start any match well. As we say, Doncaster didn't start well last week, but look at this. They're having a right go straight away here up towards halfway. We're perched up in a commentary position opposite the main stand. It's a lovely view here on an absolutely lovely day as well. A nice little dummy shown there. It looked as though Jake Lightower was going to get a first taste of action. Instead, it will be the other big fellas coming forward here with Fitzsimmons. He is a big guy, and this is Fitzsimmons. It's a brilliant run from Fitzsimmons. This could be the first score for Workington. Should have given the pass, maybe.
Oh, brilliant there from Lee Duran. What a line break. Awesome play.
Big chance for Workington to register. Still the first minute of the match. It will go right. They have a big opening here. Big chance for Workington. He's over.
Oh, what a start.
What a start here for Workington Town, the home team. And they roar in front here. And Doncaster have started slowly again.
Oh, absolutely. Fantastic start here for Workington Town. You couldn't have scripted any better for Chris Thorman's team. Great carry from Marcus O'Brien, to be fair. He was the man that set the set rolling. Strong carry from him. They then come down that left edge with Luke Duran, who makes the line break. Off the back of the line break, they then shift the point of attack from left to right. Doncaster was struggling to get back on side. And it's Brown, I think it's Brown in the corner that finishes it off. But the player that they acquired from the Newcastle Thunder side earlier this season, great try, but again, for me, started from Marcus O'Brien. He had that strong carry, it laid the platform. Duran makes a line break down this left edge with a nice dummy, and then obviously they shift the point of attack from left to right through some good slick passing and skill, and it's Brown that does enough to evade Tarley and score in the corner and put the first points of this grand final in favour of Workington Town.
It was Joe Brown. The last time I saw him was playing for Newcastle earlier this season. He's been there, a wonderful servant for Newcastle Thunder. But a brilliant start to this final.
Absolutely.
Is the conversion good too? It's a dream start for Workington Town. 2 more points tagged on. It's Workington Town 6, Doncaster 0, and we've not been playing for 2 minutes.
Now we have a disappointing start there for Doncaster. The kick-off probably didn't go the distance that they would have liked on that kick-off, but I thought it was met with some good contact on the first tackle, but after that it was just too many metres being made there from Workington, and like I said, they've struck early.
I often ask a coach, can you tell the mood of a set of players before a game? And I think Chris was very quietly confident that his players were all set up and geared to go.
Yeah, well, I think he's got every right to be confident. They finished second this season. They've been pretty strong at home, and they've got that home advantage. It's a good quick play the ball there for Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, Joe Brown fooled me in a way, because we were expecting him to wear 3. I think he's got 31. He's found another 28 numbers somewhere.
Yeah.
That happens in rugby league.
It does indeed.
Well, Doncaster don't seem to have been in the game yet, and they're on the back foot again here now. Underneath it will be Halliday. Good take from
great
him.
tackle.
Great tackle. They are really, whatever he's said to them, whatever meat they've been on this morning, they are raw. Rugby league raw, this.
Absolutely. Well, that's a superb defensive effort so far. The first 3 tackles inside the opposition 20. The tackle control there from Workington, really, really good. Oh, no.
Yep, got off. And first penalty awarded by our referee today, Tom Grant from Leeds. He shares the same birthday as me, Hendo. I think you'd like to know that, wouldn't you? But it is about 50-odd years apart. Tom Grant, the official in black. First opportunity this for Doncaster, really. They are inside Workington territory. Not a single spectator behind the posts which they are attacking, but a good crowd here in the main stand and on this side of the stadium where we're speaking to you from as well. It's it's tough, it's vigorous, it's exactly what you expect.
Yeah, it's a late shot there on Matty Baharrell. He's took the ball into the line, he's dug into the line, he's played a nice little short ball, but referee Tom Grant just feels that the challenge from the Workington tackler was just a little bit stern and a little bit late, and obviously it's another penalty to Doncaster. And what you tend to find in this great game of rugby league is you tend to see penalty, try. Oh, he's going to sin bin. He's going to send. It's the hooker.
Yeah, and that is early in the game, isn't it?
It's Matty Henson. The hooker Henson is been sin bin for a late challenge off the ball. They're going to elect to tap and run here at Doncaster, John.
And already they need points. They went 12 points behind it, Keithley, last week. 6 adrift already, but this is an opportunity for the first time today for Matty Baharrell, prolific point scorer, to get involved, and he is involved there, and he'll be awaiting a ball now coming his way. This is Matty Baharrell, good rugby league footballer, and the space opening up, and Doncaster hitting straight back.
Lovely play.
It is the equalising score already, and I think it's Liam Johnson who's gone over the line. The man who got the 2 tries at Keithley last week late on that helped them over the finishing line into a victory that had looked absolutely out of the question. He's a finisher.
He certainly is, and what Liam Johnson's got there is he's got some presence on the edge. You know, as an edge back rower there, he's got size, he's got pace, he's got power, and that was a great line from him. Again, it's come off the back of some ill discipline from Workington. I thought they had a great set after scoring points. They turned the ball over on their terms inside the opposition 20, front-loaded their first 3 plays, but gave a penalty away for offside. Then it was backed up with a penalty from Henson with the late charge. He got sin bin. That's gifted Doncaster the field position and opportunity. And I'll tell you something, it was a great play, lovely sweeping move from left to right.
Hello everybody, welcome to glorious...
dropping players under him, and then he obviously finds the back rower there, Liam Johnson, run a nice little late outline into space and scores a fantastic try.
So he's a good finisher, and this man's a good kicker as well, Matty Baharrell. 65 goals this season, and I think you can make it 66, clickety-click, right through the middle.
Well, an interesting start to this contest, John. Obviously, Workington straight out of the blocks, scoring first points in their first set. But a little bit of ill discipline has given Doncaster the opportunity to counter-strike, and boy, have they done that with a fantastic try to Liam Johnston.
Yeah, we could be in for a points fest at this rate. Funnily enough, talking to Chris Thorne coming across the pitch before the game, he said he thinks it's a perfect day for that, for open rugby, for teams to throw the ball about.
Oh, listen, the conditions are outstanding. For this time of the year and being up in Cumbria, it's absolutely glorious. The conditions are perfect for rugby league.
That's what he said. He said, normally, yeah, March, April would be fantastic, but not now, not in October. Perfect day. And a perfect setup now as well. Doncaster again showing that resilience to come straight back as they did 7 days ago. And it is they who have the football in their hands again. I think they've got a lot of finishers in this team, a lot of players who've scored plenty of tries this season, and that is important, and they're making ground through the middle again. And you can't ignore that man Biharul. He's a key player.
He certainly is, and he's had plenty of experience in this division too, and been involved in teams that have...
And that's a huge Biharul kick as well. Well taken. Brad Holroyd started the season, as I say, on the wing, but he's really impressed at full back. Eager work from both sides as Workington Town get towards halfway. You must never forget the town in the Workington title. There's a football club about 100 yards away, just called Workington. This is definitely the rugby league version. And a kick to come. It's another steepler. Oh, that's a really difficult one, and they'll chase in on here. Halliday has it in his grasp. However, won't get very far, I don't fancy here. Falls into the clutches of Lightowler. About 10 minutes in the sin bin. Might have almost gone now, I think. Just can be important phases in a game where you know somebody's sitting out the game for 10 minutes. It's a long time.
Oh, it certainly is in this game. You to have that numerical advantage, you know, it certainly does help. And in Doncaster's case, they took advantage of that, and they'll want to exploit that and take some more advantage.
Yes, again, it's that man Biharul. I seem to have mentioned him more than anybody so far. Good kick.
I'll tell you what, it was good kick pressure there from O'Brien, and it had to be, because I think Biharul was setting himself up there for a 40-20 attempt. He saw the winger was up in the line, there was space behind him, but the kick pressure from O'Brien, if he doesn't make that effort, Biharul's probably nailing that, getting a 40-20 and applying further pressure. But great effort from the front rower O'Brien to get out there and put on the kick pressure and made sure the kick didn't find that 40-20 line.
Yep. They're trying to silence the crowd here, and that's not easily done in Workington. They're very vociferous. We're saying this is probably the biggest game in Derwent Park since the Kiwis were here.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to call that game that night, Scotland versus New Zealand, and it was a great night for the Scots, securing a 18-all draw against the New Zealand side.
Workington concentrating their attacks down the right so far, and again they choose that option as well through O'Brien. O'Brien's a key player. It's a very engaging contest so far, very open, very inventive football being played by both sides, and two young coaches here, Chris Thorman and Richard Horn. Both, you would say, learning their trade, but doing so in a white-hot atmosphere.
Look, it's good experience for both coaches, isn't it? You know, preparing both their teams for a grand final, and whoever wins or loses will take valuable experience from that and use that to further their coaching career in the future.
Well, I'm sure you've still got ambitions in the coaching direction.
Yes, I certainly do, John. I certainly do.
I won't go any further. Well, we wish you well. Hope you get a job soon, Endo.
Thanks, mate.
I'm so used to seeing Doncaster in blue. It seems strange to see them in red today, but they've adjusted to the colour change. They're not colour blind, that's for sure. And the ball is whipped left there. Well, so far they're coping pretty well. There's a shout for a forward pass. It's one of the great rugby league chances, isn't it? Forward pass. This time they do go left, and it was Ben Cockayne who was involved there. We've seen a lot of high kicks so far today. That one is taken. And he's wriggling away.
Great evasion.
Yeah, that's really good play again from Brad Holroyd. He's 21 years of age. He's a player they think has a big future in this sport.
Yeah, he showed some great athleticism there, some nice balance, and I like the footwork and the body movement there as he evaded those would-be tacklers. And there's a penalty there for offside, and quite a relieving penalty, I'd say, there for Workington. Just wind the clock down a little bit further until they can get Henson back on the field. But the more time they have in possession in this 10-minute period, the better for them.
Yeah, I think Doncaster have learned their lesson from a week ago. Okay, they conceded the first score again here today, but since then they've really settled down and taken the game to the opposition. And here we go again. It never ceases, the action in rugby league. That's one of the things I love about it. How on earth you get through 80 minutes at this pace, I do not know. But it's Workington looking for their second score. If they can make it, that is a decent approach play again to get up towards that to 22. I still want to call it 25. But here we go. Fitzsimmons having a big game already, isn't he, Connor Fitzsimmons? Little slip on the surface there. It rained very heavily here in Cumbria yesterday. But today, absolutely ideal in every respect. And a cup final to boot. A promotion final. Short, he's there. You can get from the reaction. No, I think the referee's got a point. Score given. A bundle of bodies, and Doncaster proved vulnerable again in that short area.
Oh, they absolutely did. And again, it's field position, which they've earned off the back of a penalty. And the 12-man Workington Town team score an incredible try. Just a nice little short pass to Fitzsimmons, who runs a nice little overs line, gets on the outside shoulder of the defender, and a big man on a little man, hard to stop close to the line, and has enough power to get over.
I was saying he's having a big game, isn't he?
Well, you said just before, John, he's had a couple of strong carries, and I've noticed that they're using him a little bit wider in this game at Workington. I noticed that they're bringing him on a little bit wider, hitting him on the edge. Obviously, he's quite an athletic front rower who's got a lot of pace and power, and they're trying to obviously get him to do some damage on the edge rather than through the middle. And we've just seen the fruits of that, really. Close to the line, Fitzsimmons, collects a nice short pass, a nice outline, late outline, it gets on the outside shoulder and scores. A nice little try there to extend Workington's lead.
So they hit the front again, and Carl Forber will try to take them even further in. He has a club record number of points for this club, does Carl Forber. Looks for 2 more to the tally. Never in doubt, up go the flags, and they've got that 6-point lead back again.
Yeah, they certainly do. And we see the hooker Henson's back on now. His 10 minutes is up, so that's a welcome reprieve for the Workington Town team. But they've done ever so well to extend their lead whilst down to 12 men. Doncaster will be a little bit disappointed by that. But again, we've just seen it in this game, haven't we? Workington concede a couple of penalties. They give Doncaster the field position. Doncaster score points, vice versa. Doncaster come up with a poor penalty there for offside. Gives Workington the opportunity, and they capitalise.
Discipline is such a big factor in this game, I always think.
Huge in finals especially.
It's round about now where we get replacements coming out. And I heard a Tannoy announcement there. But the thing is, while we're watching the game, you almost ignore the substitutions. Now suddenly a player will appear and you think, where's he come from? But it's a very, very good spectacle here in Derwent Park. Real rugby league country, this. Fitzsimmons. Ooh, there was a man at the shoulder there. Just unable to squeeze the pass away. Otherwise there might have been a third Workington score on. They are the ones taking the game to the opposition again. Fitzsimmons with a boot this time. No problem at all for Taulapapa. Talapapa's 39 years of age.
Yeah, I played with Missy back in the day in Sheffield, and it's amazing that he's still going and he's still delivering. He's still delivering at this stage.
Yeah, he scored a couple of tries in a game against North Wales recently. So it's having a love for the game, isn't it?
It is, and it's also probably indicative too, John, of the sports science that's in the game now, and probably it started coming in probably in my generation and my era, because you're now seeing players, a lot of players now are playing, mid-30s, late 30s now. You see it at various levels. So I think that's probably down to the sports science in the game and the strength and conditioning programs that we see now in professional rugby league.
The Harold's opened the gap up. Well, Ben Cocaigne's another one. He's 38 now.
Absolutely.
Doncaster turn to from looking. The referee's whistle intervenes again.
Yeah, it's just deemed that Missy Talapapa has knocked on at the play the ball there, or he's not played the ball correctly, so the ball will be changed over to Workington Town.
With Joe Brown, the scorer of that first try, out in the corner, literally with less than 2 minutes on the clock. I always think it sets up a final brilliantly if there is a score so early. Workington's last win against Doncaster came in the Challenge Cup a couple of years ago by 22 points to 12. It's about 18 months ago now. But Doncaster have had the upper hand this season with 2 victories. They have beaten Workington by 26 points to 24 and 22-12, so reasonably close games. But Doncaster came out on top both times, which psychologically can help. This is Hull.
Oh, he's twisted his knee a bit there, I think.
Yeah, we're going to have a stoppage here while the physio assistants come on. The medical people, all very important in this game of rugby league. It is a physical contest and you can't hang around.
Yeah, it just looked a little bit awkward there, I think. Obviously, Holroyd's he's collected the ball, he's come out of dummy half. He was met with a good tackle up top by Sweeting, who was kind of wrestling him, and I think Cocaine just sort of grabbed one of his legs, was trying to, I could see what he's trying to do, he's trying to lift the leg up to try and get him put onto his back, but anyway, we'll have a look at some of the scores that have been made already in the game. The opening score going to Workington Town with Joe Brown. It was a nice initial line break from Lee Duran, and then they moved the point of attack from left to right, and Brown scores in the right-hand corner to open up the scores. It was a fabulous move and a fabulous try to start the game in the first minute of the game, wasn't it, John?
First minute, absolutely. Breathtaking start. But Doncaster soon hit back with that Liam Johnson try. The man very much in form.
Yeah, it was a nice wide move. This time Doncaster moved the point of attack from left to right. But Harold coming across, showing some options back on the inside, goes out the back, and then it's a nice short pass to Johnson, running a nice late outline into space as the Workington Town defence had just got up high and ahead of the line. So anyway, we're back on with the game now, and last tackle kick goes up. And collected by the Doncaster wingman at the back there, Greensmith.
Yeah, Zach Oldsamer was also involved in that second Workington Town try alongside Fitzsimmons, the young wingman, whose only try had come in a heavy defeat against North Wales. They were a bit of a surprise package at times, North Wales.
They had a pretty consistent season, just didn't have enough in the playoffs obviously, but they certainly improved, haven't they?
They have, and since their move to Colwyn Bay. It's through the middle that Doncaster concentrate their next attack. Richard Horne's got a good coaching record. Yet another high kick. He seems to be predominant today, these kicks. And up very sharply there was Sam Smeaton, one of the shaven-headed players on the Doncaster side. Hallard is the other one. But, yeah, Richard Horne, his coaching record, he's coached in 41 previous matches, of which 28 have been won and only 11 lost, so that's pretty decent.
It's good record, that. Oh, it's good defence there from Doncaster. Good contact there from Douglas. And
a very appreciative crowd here You'd like to see another score. You like to see your team get 2 scores ahead, don't you, really? The kick's good because that means there's a chase through the middle. This could go anywhere. Oh, took his time, but that's because of this peculiar shaped ball.
Wow, it took a wicked bounce, didn't it? The kick from 4-bar took a wicked bounce at Talapapa. Then as it went to bounce, he slips over, but he just managed to arrive on time. The old legs got him there just on time because Louis Duran was kick sprinting down. And great defence. Duran, O'Brien, and Fitzsimmons driving Halliday back. Oh, shot there from Workington.
I think you're enjoying this.
Oh, look at that. I love it. Great line speed and contact from the Town boys. And again, really restricting the Doncaster go forward, putting them on their backs. The tackle control here on this set is excellent from Workington.
Yeah, it's almost as important as the finishing sometimes. It sends a message.
Well, look where Doncaster are kicking from as Ben Cockayne jumps out of dummy half.
Yeah, Cockayne,
Kicks
and he
himself.
got taken out as well. This is going to be a penalty. The referee will see if there's any advantage. There isn't. Cockayne was taken out. Penalty Doncaster. Talking about discipline again.
Well, talk about just a little bit of off the cuff and inventive play there. Ben Cockayne, it was last tackle. I was just about to give Workington a massive rap on their defensive effort, forcing Doncaster to kick inside their own 30, but they couldn't win that last tackle. Ben Cockayne jumps out. He manufactures a little kick for himself, and fortunately for him, he gets taken out, and obviously Doncaster get awarded the penalty, and a great opportunity now, John.
Absolutely, and it is Johnson who is first up there. It was Sweeting who put the ball out. He often does take the kicks, and Sweeting it was who kicked that vital conversion last week to win the match. And this is good attacking play once again from Doncaster with Aaron Ollett.
I think it's Brandon Douglas that was carrying there, John.
Yep, very, very close. Awkward little bounce, but they might yet make something of it. Harrell nearly skipped under the tackle. He's scored a try similar to that last week when they couldn't stop him. And he'll be there hunting out another one soon, I'm sure. Not quite sure where to go here. There'll be no way through on this occasion for Sweeting. But, is he held up over the line? I think he is, yes. Not go the referee's arms. Good defending from Workington, but Doncaster asking the question simply because of the penalty.
Yeah, very good defence here from Workington. It's a bit of a pet play for Doncaster. They like to use Brandon Douglas close to the line to power over either him or Zach Braham, and on that occasion, they done well there.
They come again. Well, a bit of a fumble, but it doesn't matter. The ball was back over the try line, and so they'll seek to run it out quickly here. This always gets the crowd going.
Yeah, it does. I'm just not sure. The grubber kick on this field, they're not the biggest in goals, you know. So I always feel that either a run play or a high kick play contesting is potentially a better option. As we just saw there, the grubber kick, I think it was from Sweeting, just went dead. It's a 7-tackle set.
Alex Young there, leading the charge. Arms extended, asking for a penalty, but nothing doing for Matty Henson, who was the one who was asking for it. The former Egremont Rangers. So much good amateur rugby league in this part of the world as well. Ellenborough, Egremont, teams like that, Millom.
There's plenty of good sides based up in Cumbria. Plenty of great amateur clubs.
Just finding that gap, isn't it? Finding that elusive gap, and that's where you usually look to the half-backs. And this is an excellent play again from Workington. The kick, the chase, could be. Fitzsimmons is leading the chase as well.
Great play.
Fabulous play, a good defender.
Yeah, and again, we spoke about Louis Duran before the game, and he's going to be at the heart of a lot of the good attacking play for Workington. He's creative, he's an intelligent rugby league footballer. And we saw there, it was an early kick, it wasn't last tackle. They had a shift play there from right to left. The ball comes to Duran. He sees the winger was up in the line. The fullback wasn't quite covering across, so he elects to put the kick in behind the line. And I'll tell you what, it's a great reaction from Fitzsimmons. He chases it hard, and he forces Halliday to bat it into touch. And now Workington on the attack with Reece Clark, I think it is fantastic. They're 5 metres out from the line.
Yep, and there we go. Is he?
He's up.
No, I don't think so. Referee's having a good look. Didn't think it was.
Yeah, and O'Brien trying to power his way over close to the line there, but there was 3 Doncaster defenders in attendance to make sure he was held up over the line. But again, still further pressure being put on this Doncaster line by the Workington town side, John.
Yeah, it's good pressure, and the fans usually know whether it's a try or not, don't they? You can get by the reaction. Still none, but they roar as soon as they see somebody heading for that line, and usually they're 99% correct in their assessments. I just have a feeling a lot of spectators massed behind the post to which Workington are raiding at the moment, and it is a chance. Once again, it was
good defence. Good defence from Doncaster on the try line there.
Yeah, Forber has only got the one try so far this season, which surprises me. It's a lot of goals, but only the one try. It's getting almost repetitive, this. That can happen. Ref says, get up, please.
Was it right? Was it
Take
right?
your time. Yeah, it's going to be a handover.
Hand over there, yep. I think it was...
This is where Doncaster needs somebody to run them clear, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Bickerdike there, I think. Bickerdike just decided to go from dummy half close to the line on the last tackle. It's not the worst outcome because you turn the ball over there a metre off their line, and now you've got an opportunity now to ramp up. Because he was held up over the line, they play the ball 10 off the line, but it's not the worst outcome. Oh, 1-on-1 ball steal! No.
Penalty given. I think you thought something else there.
Yeah, I thought they jumped off him just in time, but the referee deems no. There was 2 in the tackle, so penalty to Doncaster, and that's just the thing for Workington at the moment. They've just got to be a little bit tidier.
That one's coming our way. Thought you were going to grab that. Block that one out the sky. Smeaton. Howard is awaiting on the right flank. Jason Talley's been quiet so far today. He's a good player, good centre, Talley.
I think he could go in looking for a bit more work, John, to be honest.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed I've not seen much of him.
Kane, half break.
Yeah, Ben Kane again.
He's got Tom.
Oh, well, that's a relief for Workington. He was typical Cockayne. I remember when he was a winger at Wakefield Trinity. He took some stopping. He's not a big guy, but
no, he's
powerful.
Stopping. I'll tell you something. One thing with Ben Cockayne is he's a true competitor. You know, he has a will to win, a desire to win. He competes on everything. And again, I called it before the call. Since he's come back into this side and playing out of 9, he just gives them a different dynamic out of 9. He's got good deception. He's got good rugby intelligence and smarts. He knows when to pick the pass or when to run. And you just saw there the threat he had when he got out of dummy half.
Oh, he's had a great career. There's an army of people on the pitch at the moment, water carriers, physios. Oh. Have you ever seen any of them get run over in the traffic, the heavy traffic?
I'm sure it's happened on occasion.
I'm sure it must have done. I think I'd dread that. This is Young. A few oohs around the ground, but referee's happy that there was nothing untoward there. So it will be working. They'd love another score before half time, I'm sure. Workington Town do lead by 12 points to 6 in this final. The Division 1 playoff final. Thought about the longer ball there. Decided against it this time. Jamie Duran is such a good player, though. They weren't going to let him go, were they?
That's a penalty there, yeah.
Yeah, Ryan Wilson on them, winning the penalty.
It's Bickerdike, I think it is. Bickerdike there, number 24. Yeah. Carried out a dummy half there. And he's ball still there from Ben Cockayne, I think it was the guilty party. Workington now got a great opportunity again to put the Doncaster line under further pressure as O'Brien carries strong. He's met by 3 Doncaster defenders.
Well, they're eager again. And those white shirts are converging here. 22 metres out. Another score now, and Doncaster would find themselves in a similar situation to the one they were in last week. They're defending manfully at the moment and having to.
Well, they have done so far. They've had a fair bit of pressure put on their line, Doncaster, this first half, but they have defended their line well.
O'Donnell in the line. And Henson, the figures. It's coming wider now. Big chance here of a third Workington Town try. Before the interval, that's what they're looking for. Oh, on the charge.
Great defence on the goal line there. Fantastic. I think it was Johnson
and Smeaton coming together, and they stopped the hooker, who was on a crash play, wasn't he? He was on a crash play. Matty Henson, he just thought, I'm going to just barge over on this last play. Interesting to note again, Fitzsimmons on that left edge, just running that late outline. He scored a try earlier through that same line, but this time Doncaster read it. They managed to contain him. And then Henson just on the charge, close to the line, trying to barge his way over, but just probably didn't quite have the presence or the physicality to get over. And he was met by the big man in Johnston and Sam Smeaton, who just put their shoulders in and bodies in front and stopped him. But it's going to be a tough set now for Doncaster. They're literally 2 metres off their own try line. Real opportunity for Workington to front load their energy defensively here, John.
If you're not willing to put your body on the line, don't play this game.
Oh, absolutely.
I used to be horrified in the days where I used to go to dressing rooms about 5 minutes after the match to pick a player of the match, and some of the sights in there were not to behold. Ball lost.
I thought it was
No, he said play on.
Oh, and there's a penalty.
Now's the penalty to Workington Town. It's just got a bit heated for the first time, I think. That often happens when it gets just a fraction scrappy.
Yeah, disappointing there. It was a loose carry, just as he carried into contact, and sure, was it Whitmore? I think was it? The man that carried in, but he lost possession, and then a penalty was awarded from the afters given.
Yeah, they don't take the two. They boot it up onto the roof of the just under the roof of the stand, and it is a platform once again here for Workington Town, the Rugby League champions of 1951, the Challenge Cup winners of 1952. They played in the very first televised cup final against Featherstone Rovers. Now they are on television in 2021, a different game. And yeah, I think a lot of us love Championship and League One because it is more like the old game than Super League.
Yeah, there's definitely an appetite for it.
Here's the platform again.
Duran!
Once again, Fitzsimmons figures. He's a big fella and he's a big impact on this game so far. They'll hold him here. The referee has to be constantly in a good position as well. Let's give credit there to today's official, Tom Grant. They're just looking for that elusive gap, and Doncaster aren't about to let them find one. But they still have a chance. Just needs a flash of inspiration from somebody, a little kick through. Surely a Doncaster hand on it.
Nice.
To knock it over into what looks like a speedway track.
What I'm liking about Workington at the moment, John, is they're playing with a matter of patience. They're not overplaying. They're not trying to manufacture this amazing try or score. And a lot of playoff rugby and grand final rugby, it's about building pressure, applying pressure and sustaining it for longer periods in the opposition. And I just like the patience that Workington is showing at the moment. It was a lovely kick again from Duran on last play, forces the repeat set. And now we see Big Fitzsimmons on the charge. Wooshka going into him, and he gets his nose through, finds his front, leaves Doncaster players on the ground.
Oh yes, there was a Doncaster player out in it just for a second there. So it does give the opportunity here to Workington to drive in, might just catch them unawares. This is the pass, the third pass, crowd's roaring, it's a score, there he goes, Carl Former races over beneath the sticks. Workington Town are stretching their way towards the championship.
Sensational try, and I mentioned it just previously about building pressure, and it's the patience that Workington have shown, the fact that they've continued to build that pressure on the Doncaster line, who, take nothing away, Doncaster have been defending their try line amicably, but it was a lovely inside ball there, great inside pass to Connor Fitzsimmons, who makes the initial line break, and then he gets the offload to the supporting Carl Former, who scores under the post. A lovely try, but that is a result of building pressure, perseverance, and a great try to extend the lead further there for Workington Town.
Astonishingly, only Carl Former's second try of this season. His other one came at Coventry, believe it or not, in a 30-12 win. He was the man who booted this side into today's final, of course, with that golden point penalty right at the end. And he'll surely convert his own score here. And Workington Town are stretching away to the delight of their fans, who will roar again. Now it's 2 more points, and Doncaster have it all on again.
They do. They're going to have to do some work to get themselves back into this. Like I said, probably the second part of this first half, Workington have certainly enjoyed the better of the field position, and you can almost argue a lot of that's down to probably some ill discipline and a couple of mistakes and errors from Doncaster that have put themselves under pressure. But Workington have shown is the patience and the perseverance to continue to apply that pressure, not overplay, and they've just got the rewards off it now with another try to extend the lead further. It's Reece Clark on the charge now, and he's met by Holtstock and I think it's York.
Yeah, Holtstock and York, 2 of the replacements who've come on. Aaron York, who scored recently against Workington when things did go well for the Dons that day. They won 22-12. Another robustious run. All action rugby league here in Derwent Park today on a sunny Sunday lunchtime.
Singleton there with a good strong carry. It's Fitzsimmons. Oh, look at the footwork and evasion from him.
They've really come to life in the last few minutes.
Oh, twinkle toes.
Yeah, it was Perry Singleton who had the initial run through here. Chase on. Well, it's okay.
Nice finish. Nice outcome to end the set there, John.
Yeah, Singleton, the fair-haired lad, who's one of the newcomers to rugby league football recently. He's in his second spell. He had a short time at Barrow and then came back here.
Well, he's come off the bench, and what they've done there is they've moved Fitzsimmons back into the middle of the field. So he goes into the middle now, and like I said, it's just showing that he's still a threat in the middle as much as he was on the edge.
If you were Richard Horne, what do you say in the dressing room at half-time if this score is still the same as it is now, 12 points behind again?
Well, just saying now, I think there was a one-on-one ball steal attempt there from Fitzsimmons, but it should be Doncaster head of ball here, I think. Yes, it is. Yeah, just go back to your question there, John. Yeah, look, the thing for Doncaster is they just need to tidy up their discipline and their ball control. They've come up with a couple of mistakes and a couple of, obviously, penalties that have given Workington some good field position. And that, for me as well, I think probably defensively, I'd like to see them just get their tackle control, tackle management a little bit better. I just feel that Workington have probably showed a little bit more prowess, have been able to generate a bit more ruck speed, and you look at the difference in Workington, they just seem to be controlling the ruck a little bit better than Doncaster for me at the moment. So ruck control and obviously tidying up the ball control and the discipline.
Yeah, thanks, Ed. A little bit more invention for me as well so far, possibly from Workington. And power up front, that's what Richard was worried about, Fitzsimmons in particular. I don't know if you know about this, but I say you're choosing the man of the match today.
Yep.
There are 1 or 2 early contenders.
Oh, there is. There has been some good performance out there so far.
Cockayne, Beharrell nearly saw a gap halfway through, but yeah, loses the ball.
That's been the problem for Doncaster. You know, it was an exciting passage of play there, and again they look threatening. When Cockayne gets out with the ball, they look a real threat, and it was a nice play again. He goes out the back to Beharrell. Beharrell shows and goes, makes the half break, but loses the ball in the process. And again, it's another let-off. They're just failing to build pressure.
And one thing I would say for Doncaster is they can't afford to concede again before half-time.
Agreed, John.
We're getting close to it.
Oh, and that's an error from Workington. We haven't seen them make too many errors in this first half.
No, that really was, wasn't it?
A little bit uncharacteristic. I think it was Olstrom, was it?
No, Olstrom,
yeah, Zach Olstrom was it made the error. So this is a great opportunity now for Doncaster, close to half-time. If they can post some points here, that'll just give them that little bit of a boost and a little bit of a lift going in at half-time.
Yeah, they don't want the hooter this second.
Nice play.
Yeah, good play. Nice little inside ball there to Aaron York.
Short on this short side.
Yeah, they'll be looking at Beharrell again. They'll be looking at Cockayne. They'll be looking at Johnson, who, as we said earlier, is a good finisher, and he's got the 1 try so far. Smeaton. Neat little back ball to Halliday, who's going to be grabbed. We'll take him by the scruff of the neck, but it's 6 more. which is encouraging to Richard Horne's side, and they need some encouragement right now. Brad Foster trying to give them that with the initial run here. Good attacking play from those in the red, and they brought good support with them from South Yorkshire today as well.
They're short on this left edge. They're short. I should have gone at the back.
Too short. Yeah, too short, wasn't it? He was too close.
He had to go at the back there. They were short of numbers there, Workington. They had him.
Gave him no real option, did he? Now it's going left. He's out to the left.
Try
wing.
time!
It's a simple score over on that left-hand side. Ollie Greensmith, I think it is, who's strolled over, and he won't score an easier try all season than that. Doncaster back in it.
Well, I thought they should have moved the ball the play before. But Harold elected to go short. I felt he should have gone out the back. I think they'd had him stripped for numbers, but he plays short, and Workington failed to get around the corner and fill up the short side with their defensive numbers. The Doncaster attackers were still in place, and it was smart play. Kane shows to the right. He comes back and hits Bro Harold on the left-hand side, and it was a real simple play. He just goes through the hands, creates a 2v1, and Ollie Greensmith just finishes a real simple try, doesn't he, in the corner there. Disappointing try to concede for Workington Town, because I felt they were shorter numbers on that right edge the play before, but Harold made the wrong decision by playing short when he should have gone out the back. So Workington had time to recover that. They didn't get defensive numbers around the corner. And fair play to Doncaster. They exploited that, took advantage, and they score.
Yeah, Greensmith was on a season's loan from Wakefield Trinity. He does know the way to the try line, though. He got a hat-trick against North Wales. And is it good from Beharrell? The flags are raised. It is. It's a real comeback again from Richard Horne's side, and they reduce the deficit again to just 6 points.
And that's the half-time whistle as well that's been blown. So right on half-time, Doncaster, John, keep themselves in this contest with a late try. And again, it was through a mistake from Workington, which we've not seen many from them in this first half, but it gave Doncaster the field position and the opportunity, and they've got themselves back in.
Well, it's not a rugby league phrase, isn't deja vu, but you get a feeling about that, possibly, that they just don't go away, Doncaster.
No, they don't. And the one thing Doncaster have got, John, is they've got some talented individuals in that team that can create something, they can make something happen. And like you said, but it's like in anything in playoff rugby, you give opposition field position and opportunity, then there's a chance that you may come unstuck, and that's what we've just seen there. You know, Workington, they come up with the error, they give Doncaster the field position, and then obviously Doncaster strike and take the points.
So the Betfred League One playoff final, it's Workington Town 18, Doncaster 12 at the break, and it's been breathtaking.
Oh, look, it's been a great contest. It really, really has been a great contest so far. And like you said, I thought when you look back and reflect on the first half, I think the scoreline 18-12, it probably does reflect that Workington have probably just enjoyed a little bit more of the field position and the opportunities in this game. I think the way they started, they came out the blocks in their first set, they score a try, and then it's Doncaster hit back on the, a couple of minutes later, and then Workington. I felt there was a real arm wrestle there for a period there, John. It was a bit arm wrestling, but I did feel Workington were just controlling the ruck a little bit more. They were winning the floor, carrying the ball. They were defending, controlling the ruck a little bit more defensively. They earned a bit more field position off the back of Doncaster's ill discipline and errors. And then, credit to Doncaster. I thought they defended their goal line really, really well for a number of times. But eventually the pressure paid off and told, and Workington were able to extend their lead further. But a late score right near the half-time period there gets Doncaster back into the game. But I think Workington, you'd argue, have probably enjoyed the better of that first half.
Yeah, you'll gather. I hope you're enjoying your day out in Cumbria. We certainly are, Andrew Henderson and myself. And it is at half-time. Workington Town 18, Doncaster 12, as we take a short breather.
Oh, that's a big one. Boom! Sit down, that's a great shot there.
It's a coach killer.
It is. You took the words out of my mouth. His legs were a bit too wide apart. It just looked ungainly.
He looked nervous. He looked nervous.
And now it's on!
They're into it.
It's all kicking off early. Well, that's unforgivable, really.
This is what we like to see.
Well, it's back. It certainly is back. So look at the toes! Blistering toes!
Deep down, he's going to be thinking, bring it on, bring it on.
There's definitely a little bit of spice between those two. It could get tasty later, George. Who knows?
It's lively, isn't it? Might boil over this, you know.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, if he's running at you, you try and get out of the way.
Oh, he's dropped the ball.
Yes.
No! Why did he do that?
Oh, he's done a lot of that. I'm not sure if that's him being greedy or just poor options left and right. Well, if you replay that last 30 seconds, put some Benny Hill music on it.
Yeah.
Shows and goes the ball, trying to create the space on that right-hand side. Now then, Arvan has got some space, and it's a walk-in for Patrick Arvan. To Baharrell, here is Tally, pops it out at the back to Talapapa, and Talapapa for a second. Smeaton tries to get on the outside. Smeaton's got on the outside, gets it away, and it's a second try. Tally's got it out. Here's another one. Is it a hat trick? It is. Marwood can do with this one as he brings the ball out to Duran, and Duran a little kick over the top, and he's caught as well. It's bounced very kindly back into his hand. There's going to be Blaine Marwood, and Blaine Marwood has gone over. Blaine Marwood is over for Workington. It's a quick play the ball. Marwood gets this ball out towards the right hand side then. Workington still sweeping this one along. He's going to put a little kick top over the top. It's going to be chased by T. Ritson, but it's not going to be collected. It's going to be Holroyd for Workington, who brings it level in the Cumbrian derby. What can he do? The fans, the players are doing everything they can to put off the experienced Raiders standoff. He puts this one up towards the sticks, and it's gone through the middle. For the Raiders to get this win, get that Championship Rugby League next year. Carl Forster's brought the line now then. He's got a little bit of support on his left for Luke Cresswell, and it's going to be the first try of the afternoon.
That's again, you need to improve.
Lucky Maludi finds a fantastic offload to T. Ritson down that right hand side, and it's going to be number 3 for T. It's yet another hat-trick. Morning, Miedemar. Barrow now. Got a few options here as Jake Carter done as he goes on his own. He's found Declan Hume is the try scorer. Walks over to his teammates, lifts the trophy aloft. Banner Raiders, Betfred League One champions for 2021.
So I was playing for Leicester Tigers Academy in rugby union. So I had a break because of COVID and everything. But because my dad I think it comes under elite sport. They were able to still train. So my dad asked Reece if I could train just to get my fitness levels up and just to keep my skill up. And I think Reece just took a liking to me, and yeah, that's basically how it was.
No, it's everything's kind of happened so quick. He started off just training just for his fitness and just to kind of help develop his game, and then from there went on to becoming a squad member, and then finally making his debut, and then he kind of kept his spot, and quite surprising how quick it's all happened.
My expectations were, I didn't really have any because it was so like sudden. Everything was so sudden. My main focus was just to make the team, and then once I made the team, I think I played quite well, and everything just went from there really. I think quite surreal. Still not. I don't think I appreciate it as much as I should, and I take it for granted a little bit. But I try and put it into perspective. But still quite surreal.
Oh, I've loved it. It's kind of like you kind of dream of stuff like this. Not many people can kind of look back on their career and say they've played professional rugby with their son, and I've been quite fortunate to have more than just one game, and I've loved every moment of it.
Yeah, it's been really physical since I went from playing against people my age and younger to playing against fully grown men, and it's been hard on my body, but I've started getting used to it by now. Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's made me a lot tougher, and it's made me realise that playing against men is a big step against playing against younger people, and you have to be a lot better skill and physically wise. I think it'd have to be my debut with my dad. It was really special. We set up a few tries together, and I think we both played quite well.
Oh, I'm really proud. It's an awesome achievement. Phoenix wants to play rugby as a professional, and to kind of get the accolades at such a young age is really touching. Both myself and my wife are quite proud, and it doesn't stop now. If he wants to keep progressing in his career, he's got to keep up the hard work, and I'm sure that's what he'll do.
Really proud. I wasn't expecting it at all, since I've not really played this year, but yeah, I was really happy when you guys called me about it. So yeah.
Welcome back here to Derwent Park. We're awaiting the kick-off, and Andrew Henderson alongside me. They've come out very early, Workington. Where had Doncaster gone?
Yeah, well, the referee's not out yet, so at the end of the day, the referee decides when the half-time break is over. Workington have obviously addressed what they've had to address in there. They want to just get out, get on with it. They're in a buoyant mood. Obviously got the slight upper hand in this game. I think they've had the better of the first half and probably deserved that 6-point lead.
Richard Orme must have a bit more to say in the dressing room than his opposite number.
Yeah, certainly. But like you said, the referee's not out yet. He hasn't called time, so...
The funny thing is, we're all poised there. The ball is at the boot of the Workington side, and Fitzsimmons wants to get on with it. Oh, at long last, here come Doncaster. Thank goodness for that.
Much to the boos of the Workington crowd.
A reminder, if anybody is just joining us, that the score is 18-12 in Workington's favour. That means nothing at halfway. It's what the scoreline is after 80 minutes.
That's true. Well, like you said, it's Workington have the upper hand at this moment in time. But Doncaster, as we know, they have been the comeback kings previously. There's no reason why they can't get themselves back into this contest. But what they will have to do this second half, John, is they're going to have to be a little bit better with their tackle management, control the ruck a little bit better, and obviously negate those errors and those penalties to give work to field position.
So we're underway, 40 minutes of the League One season to go, and then we know who is going to join Barrow on the way into the Championship for next season. And we do know, of course, that Oldham and Swinton are going in the opposite direction, which means that Lee Centurions could be the only Lancashire club in the Championship next season. I actually travelled here with the chairman of Lee, so he knows all about that. If Doncaster score first in this half, it's going to get really interesting.
It certainly will do.
And Cockayne again, acting half back. Nothing wrong with the follow through there on the Doncaster player. It was a fair enough
play on
tackle. Play on, yeah. The chase is on, and the chase is really on here. It needs good hands. And it's found good hands.
Oh, good footwork.
Yeah, good footwork.
Was it Alstrom? I think it was.
It was Alstrom, yeah, the left wing.
Great collection there. Great footwork to get out of the in goal.
There'll be a few Ellenborough Rangers fans following in here, I would imagine, today as well. Always nice to see a player progress, isn't it, from the amateur circles?
Absolutely. I think Alex Young there just took a little bit of a knock.
Yeah, he's just hobbling a little, isn't he, Alex Young?
He's grabbing his wrist, actually, I think.
Torch, yeah.
Yeah, he's grabbing his wrist. He's gone down.
We'd love to see a length of the fielder. All fans love to see a length of the field try.
Well, that man he's got the legs to open up if he gets into space, as Alex Young. He's a good athlete. He's receiving some attention in back play there. It looks like his wrist. His shoulder is grasping there.
Yeah, on the other side, Halliday has the legs as well. He should have scored a try last week at Keighley. Here he goes, right on cue. But he was a bit acrobatic and theatrical in finishing off and lost the ball.
Well, they'll be pleased with that start, Doncaster. They've got through the first set. They got a decent kick at the end of it. And then they've defensively really fronted up that set and forced work to the kick inside their own 30. And as a result now, you can see they're over the halfway on play two. And that's because defensively they were strong in that first set.
It's interesting that in the space of about 2 seconds, both wingers got their hands on the ball. Greensmith had gone infield. So at the moment, Tally's in the left wing position, but this is Cockayne, wriggles through, gives the pass as well.
Sweeting, it collects the offload.
Yeah, Sweeting, a very influential player. Then Biharul. Good effort this from Doncaster at the start of the second half. They still trail, but there's Brad Foster, the skipper, very influential. These are good moments for the Dons. The kick is out wide for Halliday. Not sure he's got the space. And he just chips it harmlessly in the end into the opposition hands.
Yeah, like I said, but again, not the worst outcome, John. They've finished in a corner inside the 10, and it means it's difficult now for Workington to get out. They're met by some great defence by Doncaster. They drive Singleton back and throw him into the ground. This is better defence from Doncaster.
It's a balmy day, and I spell it with an L. It's a really lovely day in Cumbria. The drive here was gorgeous today, I have to say, through all the lakes. But we're concentrating on the rugby league rather than the lakes. The trophy, by the way, will be presented obviously at the conclusion of this match, and just the trophy. There are no individual medals.
It's forward.
Yeah, forward pass before it got to Joe Brown. Oh, hello. Hello. Joe Brown's having a little bit of a spat there. Only a little one, a fairly harmless one with Aaron Ollett.
A little cheeky Matty Baharrell just letting him know that, great play there, Joe. Just trying to get in his head. He's still smirking at him, giving him a little look and pointing at him and smirking.
Trying to get in his head.
Yeah, that's it. Just trying to knock them off kilter. And like I said, as Jason Tarley, that's a powerful carry from the Papua New Guinean.
Yeah, strong man. He's within 2 tries of a century in his career. 98 tally has got. He'd like to take the tally to 100.
Wow. Will we see that this afternoon? We'll see.
Yeah, Ben Cockayne. That's good approach play again. A switch there to Smeaton. It's not going to get out to the flank just yet, but they're creeping ever closer. Another Doncaster score now. Remember, they got one just before the hooter at the close of the first half. and they're looking for the first score of the second half. And we all know what a good second half team they can be. It'll silence the Workington crowd if they get there. He's gone for the line. He is held up.
Yeah,
so Doncaster can't add to their tally.
Aaron York trying to power over. Like I said, it's a bit of a pet play of Doncaster. They like to use their big men close to that try line to power their way over. They've had a lot of success this season with that play.
They're coming again, and the whistle goes. Hand over.
Yeah, and again, what I'm enjoying at the start of this second half from Doncaster's point of view, John, is the patience that they're demonstrating. We saw a lot of patience in Workington's game first half. They're just happy to turn the ball over, build pressure. And Doncaster's second half, the way they've started, they've just got some really good outcomes to end the sets. They're really showing a lot more vigour and intensity defensively now, getting bodies in, controlling the ruck, making it more difficult for Workington to come out of their backfield. And you know, will this pressure pay dividends for them?
That
we'll
was
see.
a floated pass there, which could have been dangerous. Wasn't anticipated by anybody in the red of Doncaster today. Yes, no, you're absolutely right. They're keeping the opposition where they want them, but this looks a useful kick because it's a chase back and then it's a chase forward. It's let it bounce and finally grab hold of the ball.
Again, it's a good kick return there from Talapapa. Oh, and he's knocked on.
No, that's a bad mistake there.
Well, that is not what Doncaster needed.
It's a typical League One encounter as this. There's not much in it at all.
Yeah, well, they've just, for me, they've started the better of the second half of Doncaster. They've enjoyed the field position. And again, you just saw there, play one, Talapapa tackled 45 off his own line, you know, but then comes up with an error on play one. It's just, and he's had a couple of mistakes in this game, as Missy Talapapa, unfortunately, and this is now a good opportunity for Workington. They don't have to score this set, John, but they just need to build some pressure, ask some questions, build some pressure, and try and get Doncaster working off their own line.
Reece Clark setting the ball in motion again. Number 33. We've got 33, we've got 23 who is receiving the ball now, and then Clark will be looking once again, and it doesn't go to him. So much spent on tactics in midweek in the training, and they use a drone here at Workington. The drone covers all the training sessions and then they analyse via the videos.
Yes, that's true.
Modern game. Doesn't matter who scores though, and not quite. Again, good spotting by those in the red of the Dons. Well supported here today. Supporters just beneath us here. Fitzsimmons. Every time he's had the ball in hand, he's made good progress.
Lee Duran there, John, just taking the line on again. He's been a threat. Oh, Henson, he's over!
Oh, clever little grubber kick, and he catches Doncaster completely unawares, and it looks as though Matty Henson has stretched Workington Town further clear here. It was innovative, that's the word for it.
Absolutely, Matty Henson, the dummy half, he's come off to replace Deck O'Donnell, and he's had an immediate impact, hasn't he? Nice little play. It's just an individual piece of brilliance, really. Just he feigns to go play to the long side. He jumps down that short side, little grubber for himself, and touches down. But again, it's as a result of a mistake from Doncaster. Missy Talapapa, error playing the ball on play one, gives Workington the opportunity, and it's Matty Henson.
Yeah, his 9th try of the season. He's a bit of a poacher, isn't he? He also scored at Doncaster this season, so he likes playing against them. The former England under-21 player. Well, that's a typical hooker's try, I suppose.
Well, it's a typical try that I used to score 1 or 2 metres from the line. Didn't score too many long ranges.
No, that's what I say. I wasn't alluding to you.
I know. But no, look, it was, again, as a result of an error, gave Workington the field position. And in these big games, John, you've got to be clinical when you get your opportunities. Henson, he saw a little bit of space, opportunity to thread the needle, which he did, and he touches down. He's got it.
Oh, he has it when he's off the upright, as you can see. Well, those are the sort of incidents in a match which make you think, yeah, it's our day.
It could be.
Could have gone either way, and it went to Workington's advantage. So they've converted every single one of their tries today.
Well, that extends the lead now for Workington Town. They're now 24 points to Doncaster's 12. Just gives them that little bit of a comfort zone, doesn't it, having the two-score advantage. As Barnes collects a difficult kickoff and carries with some purpose, gets his nose through.
You're right, Hendo, but I keep reminding you of the score last week, don't I?
Oh.
Keithley led by exactly that score.
Well, Keithley were 14 points up, and Doncaster scored 16 points in the last 12 minutes. It was a remarkable end of game as Dawson carries now, and he's met by some stern defence from Doncaster. Ben Cockayne underneath, Smeaton over the top. Short side play, Duran.
Still he goes, Duran. Very good finalist, really good, very
Fitzsimmons!
Fitzsimmons again, just caught his ankle. And the crucial, that would have brought the house down if he'd gone all the way. But these are strong moments for Workington Town as they bid to climb the rugby league ladder. Big, big moments. If they score again, then you would feel it's job almost done. Oh, the gap opened up. They're queuing up here. There are 4 of them. It is Brown. Is it a try? No, Young is forced out.
I was going to say, what a finish by Alex Young. I'll tell you, what about the acrobatics there?
Yeah, he might be hurt as well.
Wow.
I hope not, but they have called for the physios. Alex Young was diving for that try line, wasn't he? It looked as though Brown might get in for his second of the day. And in the end, he fed Young, who is still down on the deck, sprawled on the turf here.
Oh, I really enjoyed that passage of play, John. I loved the creativity and the inventiveness to run it on last play. Doncaster just expected the kick play to come in, but you know what? Worked said, no, we'll have a crack at you. We'll throw a bit of shape at you. Fabulous as we see the try again from Matty Henson scored. But yeah, it was a great piece of play. Lovely run shape through the hands. They created the little overlap, and good scramble defence from Doncaster in the end, John, to just put him into touch. But I thought the way Alex Young just left the field of play, kept his body up, trying to reach for that scintillating finish in the corner was outstanding.
The good news is he's okay.
He's
back
okay
on the field of play, and we can continue here, but Doncaster do have ball in hand as they try to work their way upfield, and it's desperate for them that they do. We've constantly mentioned their abilities to come back, but if they concede another score, what a big hit that was.
Singleton, he saw Douglas, he had a target on him, he charged down the line, but just come off second best as Douglas just bumps him off with his bumpers and says, get out of my way, son.
Singleton's been impressive since he's come on. He's involved again.
Hey, he's trying hard.
Yeah. Well, you've got to do in this game. You would get found out if you didn't. De Harrell. Decent enough ball here for Ollie Greensmith. We've got that try just before the interval.
I see Ben Johnston's been brought into the fray.
Yeah, Johnston made a difference when he came on.
He did. I was just going to say that he did last week. He sort of injected some energy and some life into the Dons.
It's a well-angled kick is this one. That's a tricky one to take, but it's a good take. Very good take again from Brad Holroyd.
Yeah, he's been solid, hasn't he, at the back?
Yeah, a candidate for the Young Player of the Year.
Yeah.
It's not over by any means. 40 minutes must seem like an eternity sometimes when you're out there. Was that high?
No, it wasn't high. It was just the way he fell. I thought he'd done his knee there.
Yeah, it was Reece Clark. Players do tire towards the end as well, and that can lead to a playmaker finding a gap that didn't exist earlier. Clever little chip, goes for touch,
kick.
Won't be there. It will be picked up.
That's a lovely kick there.
By Johnston.
Great kick chase from Workington. Great tackle from Barnes. That was a lovely kick from Carl Forber as well. And here's an opportunity for Workington to ramp up off their line now.
Yeah, they've got the bit between the teeth. Well, the chances you can probably hear from beneath us here is Workington. Workington. I'm sure the Doncaster fans, they might roar here.
Tally!
And it is Tally. We know how strong he is. He's gone 30 metres already. He'll fall to the first tackle, but then they will come again. And, they've been awarded a penalty.
They have. I would like to have seen the ref just play that on a little bit there. I thought Sweeting, he was on the front foot.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. It's a big decision for the referee, isn't it? But he was probably only going to get another 5 metres or so.
it was the right call, the penalty. He did grab the leg, but I would have liked to have just seen if Sweeten would have, because he may have broke the line there. And anyway.
Yeah, Barrel puts it out. We're on 20 metres away now. The touch judge out on this side of the field, checking on everything. We've got 2 balls on the field, that's why we have to stop for the moment. Ollie Greensmith boots that one out, and on we go. Tally making more of an impact in this half.
Just going to say that,
first.
John, you took the words out of my mouth. I thought he was quiet in the first half. I felt he needed to go looking for work, and he has been a bit more that inclined this second half. Good carry there from Holstock, good late feet.
Yeah, reverse ball. It was from Cocaine, who's there again now. Longer ball from him this time. I'm sure they're looking to get that long ball out to the right flank to Halliday, but not yet. No point going for drop goals or field goals, whatever you want to call them right now. They need a try. Once again, it is Cocaine who dictates, and then Beharrell who joins in.
Oh, that looked a high shot there from Barnes.
That did look high, didn't it?
On Brandon
That
Douglas.
looks very high, and the referee will point the way for a Doncaster penalty.
Well, we saw it in the first half, John, didn't we? Penalty. What was the result after that? A try. Conceded. So it's back-to-back penalties Workington have conceded. Will they have enough metal to hold out this Doncaster attack as Holstock carries now? And he's met by Dawson.
Yeah, key moments again, these we illustrated in the first half. And dropped the ball right at the critical second.
Good defence there from Workington. I thought Sweeting, if he'd have gone out the back, I think they'd stripped him for numbers there. He elected to play short to Johnston, who on the crash. Great inline from Johnson, but I thought if he'd have gone out the back, they would have got him.
Uncharacteristic error that.
But
Richard Horn will be heading hands over that one.
Yeah,
the chance was really there.
Disappointed there, but
Workington survived.
They do indeed.
That little scare.
Noticed Missy Tally Papa has gone to the wing in attack, but in defence he's at fullback. And him and Johnson are flipping, so Johnson defending on the wing, but in attack he's playing at fullback. An interesting tactic there from Richard Horn.
Yeah, and Johnston wears number 1. It's not going to be an easy choice. Man of the match for you, Hendo. Sorry to worry you.
No, it's not. It's not indeed. It's been some good performers.
Well, normally a man of the match goes to the winning side, doesn't it? Somebody on a winning team. But it's not always the case. And this one is far from over, as we keep saying.
Agreed.
But Workington do have ball in hand right now, and they will try and switch it and try and spread it, with Carl Forber involved once again. We've got that excellent try in the first half. What a great servant he's been to this club, Carl Forber. There again, he's the one who puts boot to ball.
Oh, great work there from Singleton. Great tackle.
There's been some good individual performances, but the key thing about this sport is it's the team ethic. It's a team game, and you can't have anybody shirking. You need all 13 to be on top of their game.
Nice offload there from Johnston. Oh, Greensmith. He just throws off Bickerdike, I think.
Swatted him off like a fly.
Oh, he did indeed.
Nice little jinking run here.
Penalty.
Penalty, yeah. It's good to see Doncaster in a final, because I remember again, they were always the worst team in the league for year after year after year. They did a programme about them called Another Bloody Sunday on television, on Yorkshire television, which it was just every Sunday they turned up to get thrashed by somebody. They went through a whole season without winning one match.
Oh, wow.
So it's nice to see them in a final. They were in the bottom 3 for 30 years.
Wow, really?
Yeah. That is some statistic, isn't it?
That is some statistic.
It takes some guts to keep turning up on a Sunday when it's that bad. Anyway, they're having a go here.
Absolutely.
It is another Doncaster tilt. Another score from them now. We'll put the cat among the pigeons. And it is Beharrell, short, Tally. He could get all the way. Oh, baseball stuff, and he's got the pass through. And are they in? Oh, not in, not in, not in. Close as can be.
Well, it was a little bit against the runner play there. Joe Brown obviously made the decision to kill from outside in defensively and try and pressure the man out the back. But the ball somehow just managed to fall into Tali's hands. He skips back on the inside, stepping off his left, and he finds Holstock just kind of stood still back on the inside. And Holstock, he thought he'd done enough to catch and go over, but I think I'm not sure if the referee deemed the pass to have been forward from Tali to Holstock, or whether it was a knock-on from Holstock in the act of scoring. But either way, it was an error. Oh, great tackle! Ben Cockayne there, just getting underneath.
There have been a lot of massive moments in this game, haven't there, where you thought this has got to be a score, and they don't quite get there.
Yeah. It was a great tackle from Cockayne on Lightowler there. He just got underneath him. This is good defence from Doncaster. They drive Workington back inside their own 20 metres.
Yeah, but statistically it says that Workington Town are leading by 24 points to 12 and still on their way to where they want to be at the end of the day. And there'll be some jubilant scenes if they do make it. But that must seem a long way away from the supporters as yet. They do have the ball at the moment up to the halfway line. Thank goodness we still call it the halfway line.
Yep. Oh, Durant.
Oh, lovely ball.
Pass.
Oh, it was beautiful.
But that was last tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised there. I mean,
So they didn't kick.
Yeah, I've got to question that play. I love the fact that Duran wants to play and he's trying to be creative, but I just don't feel that's the time at the moment. They've just got to get that kick into the corner, kick chase, and just keep turning the screw.
Well, they'll feel similarly if Doncaster score again.
Correct, they're just giving Doncaster some easy field position there for me.
Yeah, they've an inkling of hope, haven't they, as Greensmith comes in field. He's willing for work, is Greensmith. He's done that 2 or 3 times today now. Gone in field to get involved.
Yeah,
big lad, yeah. He certainly is. Harrell, he's not a big lad. Tally, he's strong. He's definitely having a better second half. But look at this, they're
good
forcing him
defence,
back.
Barnes.
Really good, yeah.
Yep, Barnes and O'Brien, I think it is.
Doncaster keep on coming, which will please Richard Horn. He knows, he shrugged his shoulders a little bit before the match. It is on the day.
Oh, nice
as you say.
Singleton there.
The coaches can do no more than send them out onto the field. The Harrell thought of the kick, little chip through.
Forbes left it.
Surely here. Oh, he's not quite got there.
Oh, what about the
That's yet
scramble
another big
defence?
match, another big moment.
Well, that's a great play from Brad Holroyd. He's just somehow found a way to get his body in front and stop York from going over. But, what about it? Carl Forbes, why didn't he not dive on the ball there? He should have just dived on that ball. He let it bounce and it just then set up back into the arms of Aaron York, who almost got himself over and in the process almost manufactured a late offload to Jason Talley, who knocked on. But great cover from Brad Holroyd. He just threw his body there, didn't he, John?
Yeah, taking nothing away from the clever play of Beharrell again.
That is, again, yeah, agreed. Beharrell was a nice way to kick in behind, but Brad Holroyd, I mean, that's a winning action right there, just scrambling across, just throwing your body into where it needs to go and just try and stop that play. Brilliant.
Wherever you're watching, I hope you're enjoying the action here from Derwent Park. It's been a thriller and it's been typical League One action. It really has. Everybody putting every ounce of effort into the contest. And at the end of the day, they'll just shake hands.
Good carry from Fitzsimmons.
Gary, look at that.
He's been impressive today.
Fitzsimmons has had a great game.
Very impressive.
Yeah. He has. Well, Workington want that score that would take them over the finishing line.
Good tackle there from Jason Tarley on Barnes.
Yep.
I think he's been stood up in the process here.
They're going for the kick this time. I'm not sure which way the wind is blowing right now. Oh, still on.
Talia Papa.
Yes, another key moment. Yeah, Talia Papa couldn't cling on. The ball slid from his fingers, and that might set Workington up for the platform they need to clinch this match.
Yeah, well, it was a better decision from Louis Duran to put the kick up rather than the run play. He looked at the power play, run play last time from that same area of the field. This time he puts up a towering torpedo kick that was swirling in the wind, and Talia Papa just misjudged the flight of the ball, and in the process makes an error, and that's his 3rd error of the day.
Doncaster have to keep their chins up here. They're up against it. A Workington score now, and I reckon they'll be on their way to the championship.
I'm going to call it now. I'd be inclined to drop the 1 point over here, John, personally.
Yeah, good shout. Oh, instead of which the ball was dropped. Referee says play on. And you don't blame them for doing that, as Smeaton picked up the ball. Doesn't make any ground, though. If he'd have got away there, my goodness me, what a grandstand finish we would have had.
Well, maybe 10 years ago for Sam Smeaton picking up there. He goes the length of the field.
He's a mere stripling. A Doncaster boy as well, born in the city, in the town. They're coming with Tally again.
Nice
Here's
play
the chance for Greensmith. Greensmith's a strong and a good
tackle
rangy
from
runner.
Forber.
Yeah, great tackle from Forber. Tally will take them further. He'll fling it to his right. Biharrell will be the next in the line. Then Johnston. Good effort this from Doncaster, looking for that all-important gap. Brilliant retaliation from Doncaster here, having been penned back on their own line just a couple of seconds ago. And still they come with Johnston. And again. And suddenly it's Workington Town who have got to be sure about their defensive work. Doncaster threatened so many times and got so close, but once again
that's that play again, that power play. They like to use the big boppers close to the line. This time Brandon Douglas, a short pass off Cocaine, but he's held up. They've done a good job Workington at containing that power play close to the line today. They've been tested on a number of occasions and they've come up trumps with it.
It needs a moment of genius from somebody in red. Tally's the first to try and answer the question. A Biharrell kick here. Who's going to be beneath it? It's palmed back cleverly. And Halliday. No room for him. And they've managed to withstand another Doncaster raid.
Yep, and I think it's just saying it's a turnover now. Workington ball. Last tackle turnover. They didn't play at the ball there. Johnson tried to manufacture that little grubber kick in behind. It wasn't played at. So it'll be a turnover now. Workington survives. So, but I definitely would be inclined if I was Workington, John. The next time I'm up to that field, I'd be getting the message on as a coach, just to get that 1 point over. I think a three try score would make it difficult, I think, for Doncaster to come back the way this game's going.
At the moment, it's going the way of the table. Workington second in the table, Doncaster fifth. So you don't automatically expect the side that's finished higher to win it, but especially with Doncaster having beaten Workington twice this season. But they are heading where they want to be. Cling on to the ball for the moment. No thoughts of a field goal just yet. Maybe shortly. Who can make that break? You're right, Fitzsimmons has had a big match. Fitzsimmons scored 11 tries in 48 appearances for Newcastle Thunder, or Gateshead Thunder as they used to be. And he's got to catch this one. It's swirling around, and this time the catch is made.
It's met by a good kick chase line there from Workington.
The one thing about Doncaster, you know they're not going to give in.
Oh, they won't go away. There's no doubt about it. And and they are a dangerous team when they're chasing points, because they have got some individuals in there that can, they can offload. They've got some skill in there, and some people that can create things out of nothing. So they are a dangerous team when they're chasing points, as we saw that last week in the semi-final against Keighley.
Yeah, you've got to run your mettle against them. You can't drop off. You can't go to sleep at all. As Cocaine tries to prove those words correct. You had a good game, Ben Cocaine.
Yeah,
I think he's been out for 2 years.
Solid. Oh, look out! Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah. They call it a bit of rough and tumble.
And this is where, for me, Workington have got to be a little smarter. They're in control of this game. Don't get dragged into this. This is all poor. Ben Cocaine, he's a savvy rugby league footballer. He's been around the block. He knows he's getting a feel for this game at the moment, and it's slowly slipping away from them. So what can I do differently to try and disrupt, knock the opposition off kilter? Just dragging them into this, making them lose their focus.
That's a very good point. We used to call it old manning. Somebody.
Old manning, yeah.
You know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean.
I should know, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. It is part and parcel of the game.
Yeah,
and if you can knock an opponent off his stride, well done.
Absolutely. And I think that's just exactly an example of that there. Ben Cocaine has just got up, he's just said something, or just, whatever, and it's caused Singleton to react and get dragged in, and it's created a bit of a melee, and just now stops the rhythm of the game. And
yeah, word for Brad Foster here. He's the captain, of course, of Doncaster, and a word as well for Connor Fitzsimmons. They weren't the best of friends, just for a moment. They'll probably go and have a drink afterwards together.
I'm sure they will, but I just think that's Ben Cocaine there, just trying to like I said, just try and rattle the opposition, disrupt them, knock them off their rhythm a little bit.
Yep, it's 6 years since Doncaster last played in the Championship, but that dream of being back there is just slipping away at the moment. Is it going to be too long, is it?
Oh, he took it out.
Yeah, he did, yeah. Clever kick, you see.
Great kick from Beharrell.
Yeah, he's had a good game, Beharrell. He's been a good signing for them. I saw him at Keighley for a couple of years and he got a lot of points for them.
Yeah, well, the thing is with Beharrell, he's got plenty of experience in the League One, and he's played in a lot of these playoff games in League One as well, so he's got that experience.
Yeah, he's only just come back from an injury he sustained at Barrow as well, so he's feeling his way back in these last 2 matches, but he has done well. And Cockayne will be acting half-back here. Where's that one going to go to Beharrell, who skipped over at Lorcombe Lane last week from about 7 or 8 yards out. Can't lose it this time, though. Workington's defence is good, but is it impregnable? Yes, for the moment, anyway.
Again, tried that power play again with Brandon Douglas close to the line, but again, the Workington defence, I think it's... Not sure who it was. Was it Lightower or...
It's all happening thick and fast. Oh, again they're within 2 or 3 metres.
Held up.
Held up.
Great
how many
scramble
times have
again.
we seen that today?
Great scramble again.
Appreciated by the Workington Town fans in the big crowd here at Derwent Park. The rate it is the biggest since that New Zealand match against Scotland.
Yeah.
Again, it was Beharrell. Is that ball out wide? And they're threatening once again with Johnston joining in the line. He's a good player. Oh, they've switched it cleverly.
Down the short side there, but well done, Workington. They read the play, they got up on there. And there's Cockayne in the mix again with Smeaton. Getting it a little bit tasty out there, John.
Yeah, I think Chris Thorman will be as pleased with the defensive work today as he is with the attacking work.
I think, to be fair, I think you've got to be right. I think there's a couple of times Doncaster have split the Workington line on the edges. They've scrambled across, and but I think they've defended their goal line pretty well across the board, John, to be honest.
Yeah, early kick-off, of course, here. It was 1 o'clock in the afternoon when the game started. So we're still only mid-afternoon, and yet the clouds are just starting to thicken a little over Derwent Park. Still a blue sky, though. We've been blessed with the weather. Oh, the whistle goes, and it's a penalty for Workington Town. I've referred twice today, Hendo, to discipline, and it could be Doncaster's fall down.
I think you could be right there, John. It's certainly not what Doncaster needed if they want to stay in this contest. With just, I think, 11 minutes to go. The ball gets shipped out to Barnes. He's been quite impressive on this right edge too. I think he's been quite industrious for his team today. Came Barnes.
Yeah, 11 important minutes. With Doran starting things in progress again. Up will come O'Donnell, and another penalty. Now, consecutive penalties conceded by Doncaster. Richard Horn will be furious, I think, with that.
Yeah, he will be. He will not be happy with that.
Brad Foster, I think. Is this the moment?
Well, I'd be setting up for the one-pointer if I was Workington here, just to kind of put the nail in the coffin.
Nice to see Joe Brown playing, isn't it? The Jamaican international who made a record 230 appearances for Newcastle over 13 years. Seems strange not to see him in the Newcastle colours.
Yep.
He got the first try of the day. It'd be nice for him if he could sign off with another one. Well, Workington don't care who gets over the try line, so long as somebody does. They've chances again here. They've chances here. Dorian!
He's over!
He stretches. They're on their way. Workington Town's fans go potty around Derwent Park. Doran we always picked out as a potential match winner here, and Workington Town are stretching away into too big a lead for Doncaster to do anything about it.
I think that'll be game, set and match for Workington, and you can see the Workington Town players raising the arms, inciting the crowd to keep bringing the energy and the noise. And we don't need that one-pointer now, do we, John, off the back of that?
No, they weren't listening to you, Endo.
No, not at all. And it's just come as a result of, there wasn't much doing. They played some shape. They went to the left. Holroyd steps off his left foot, skimming back across the line, back on the inside. He picks up Marcus O'Brien, who just punches a nice hole. The Doncaster defenders just weren't quite working hard enough on the inside and closing the space. Marcus O'Brien exploits it by punching a nice line off Brad Holroyd, and then used for a front rower, used superb footwork to beat the fullback and score a superb try for Workington Town. Marcus O'Brien, take your hat off, son. That was a superb try, and that could be the match winner that sends your team into the Betfred Championship for 2022.
Forwards conversion will send Workington into the 30s, and I'm sure he'll get it. Without trying to preempt anything, it should be routine. It sure is. And one statistic that doesn't tell a lie is Workington Town have scored 5 tries to Doncaster's 2.
Agree. Try a short kick off here, I'd say. Yep.
That's going out. That's again what the Workington Town fans were hoping for. And is it slipping away for Doncaster?
I think we're seeing that. There's 8 minutes left on the clock. It's 30 points to 12. I don't think we're going to see a reenactment of the scenes that went on at Cougar Park last week for Doncaster. And I think Workington are going to see themselves through and promoted to the Betfred Championship as Marcus O'Brien now carries off the tap play.
Well, it's been a splendid afternoon. It's been a really enjoyable occasion. Not quite over yet. We are going up is the chant. Very predictable. Very understandable as well. There may be more in it yet. Brad Holroyd, yeah, he's had a big impact as well when he's been involved. They all want the ball now. The team in white, every single one of them wants the ball. They sense their moment of glory. And that silver trophy is not far away, and it will probably be in their grasp before very long.
Yes!
In
Over.
the corner.
Oh, no, he's out.
No try, no score.
Oh, nice play. Deco O'Donnell, he saw the opportunity down the short side. He jumps out of dummy half, fires the long pass across to the winger Ulstrom, and Ulstrom thought he'd done enough to score in that left-hand corner, but the cover defence from Doncaster just did enough to put him into touch as he was going in the act of scoring there, and Doncaster survived. As Brandon Douglas is going to play the ball to restart the set possession, but nice vision from the dummy half, Deco O'Donnell, to see the space and opportunity down that short side.
Hendo, you must have been in this position when you're the losing side at the moment. There's not long to go. It must be hard to keep your focus.
Yeah, especially in a big game like this where the prize of what you wanted was promotion. You know it's not happening. It's hard, but you've just got to keep going at the end of the day. You can't sort of put the cue on the rack. You just got to keep going, as Zach Braham's here trying to do, and carry forward as he's just come off the bench.
I would imagine the dressing room is rather quiet.
It's an error from Zach Braham as he gets up to play the ball, and there's going to be another opportunity here now for Workington. 6 minutes left on the clock to...
Yeah, a long 6 minutes, whichever side you're in. For one team, they want to get their hands on that silver trophy, which is just off out of the picture at the moment on the touchline. And for Doncaster, well, they've got to face the journey home empty-handed. But they've competed, there's no question about that. Well, it really is Workington taking the game, carrying the ball, running the clock down as well now. And yet you feel there might still be one more score in this game. As the ball is whipped from left to right. The runner here is Ryan Wilson, the front rower from Ellenborough.
Oh, he's over. Holroyd's
This is it. It is Holroyd.
Yep,
it is
over.
yet another try for this young prodigy. That's 18 for the season, and he's now scored in 15 of the 19 games that Workington Town have played this season. And I reckon that Brad Holroyd has just put the stamp on promotion.
Yeah, at the end of the day, for me there, John, I think that was a result of just Brad Holroyd having that more determination to score the try. I think there was enough bodies in the frame for Doncaster to stop that. But with the fact that their mentality is now that they probably have lost this game, they just didn't have the same sort of defensive steel on their try line as they would have done probably earlier in the game. And as a result, Holroyd, again, just wanted to get over that try line more, scores the try. And he's had some telling contributions in this game, this young Brad Holroyd, hasn't he? He's been a decent performer from him.
He is definitely an emerging talent and one to watch out for the future.
Well, he'll get the opportunity in the championship next season to further improve and get that next level of experience on his playing journey.
Yeah, it's a beautiful afternoon in Cumbria, and especially if you're of a Workington Town persuasion.
Absolutely.
Doncaster not dejected, but well beaten on the day, I think. They've never been in front.
Yeah, no, look, and I think when they reflect on this performance, it's ultimately come down to the fact they've made too many errors, probably give away too many penalties at crucial times, and you've got to give credit to Workington. They've capitalised on that field position and possession, and they've been very clinical in putting points on the board.
And they are sailing into the championship with another great kick from Forber. He's been as influential as ever. All those people who I spoke to at breakfast time or here this morning who were so nervous, haven't slept, they can relax a little now, I think.
No, they can do. You know, Workington Town now 36, Doncaster 12. It's a pretty comprehensive victory for Workington, isn't it?
Yeah, very comprehensive.
Oh, that's a penalty there for a grapple tackle. Yep. Johnston. Well, here we go. Here we go. Now it's getting a little bit tasty. I think Singleton in the mixer again. So it was Liam Johnston there. Liam Johnson with the grapple tackle. Was around the neck.
Well, I hope you're hearing the crowd. We certainly are. They are rejoicing. They're full throttle now. And discipline has gone awry a little bit in the last few minutes.
It certainly has there, John. It's more out of frustration, I think, than anything. Frustration and disappointment.
Yeah, 36-12 sounds so emphatic, doesn't it? And yet Doncaster were in this game for 65 minutes, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. They just probably gave themselves a little bit too much work to do, put themselves under a bit too much pressure, and like I said, Workington just exploited that.
Well, it's going to be a championship that will feature Barrow and Whitehaven and Workington from this very proud rugby league acreage.
It's a knock on there from Bickerdike. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the referee's had a decent game.
Yeah, he's been a solid performance all round from Tom Grant. He's done his job well. Been fair to both teams. He's let the game flow, and
so I think we're coming to the point where you've got to name your man of the match, Hendo.
Yeah, I think I've got it nailed down already. To be honest with you,
I think I could hazard a guess.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest. I'll go with it now. For me, Connor Fitzsimmons is the man of the match for me. I just think he's played the majority of the game. You know, started on the edge. You know, was causing some issues down that left edge in attack for Workington early doors. Got moved into the middle, and I thought was quite industrious with his go forward and his defensive efforts. And
so let's throw the dice from Doncaster, though. A tally kick, and that's coming our way. It's all over. Workington Town have won the Betfred League One playoff final. Doncaster are crestfallen, but no argument about the final result for me. 36 points to 12 is decisive. It is Workington Town's day.
It certainly is. It certainly is, and well deserved. Well done to Chris Thorman and his coaching team and his playing group there at Workington Town. You know, I just thought they just, for me, showed a little bit more patience. They built pressure, they sustained pressure for longer periods. You know, they took their chances and were clinical at the right moments of the game. And yeah, you can't argue there was some periods of that game where I felt Doncaster got themselves back into the contest and were really challenging Workington. But I think overall, Workington were the better side and obviously deserve their right to be in the championship for next season, John.
Yeah, 6 tries and 6 different try scorers as well. Joe Brown getting the first one. Fitzsimmons on the score sheet as well. Henson, and then in the second half, well, they came quite frequently with the scores, with Holroyd there finishing things off. So it's been a fabulous day. O'Brien was also on the sheet. And this has been Workington Town's day. You feel for Doncaster, you always do feel for losers. In truth, they will admit they were second best on the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they just, they come up with too many crucial errors and, gave away a couple of penalties at the wrong time of the game to just allow Workington to have that field position and possession. And I just felt at times Workington, I thought, defensively was solid throughout. Their tackle management was good. I felt at times they ran with a bit more purpose and were able to generate a bit more ruck speed, and just overall I think had more control of that game and were thoroughly deserved winners on the day, and in front of their home support who have been absolutely fantastic today, the home fans, and they've sung their hearts out. They've really spurred their team on, and like you said, there were moments in that game where you thought Doncaster had got themselves back into the contest and were potentially going to do something, but Workington just had a little bit too much class on the day. And I thought that man, Connor Fitzsimmons, who's the man of the match, I thought he scored a try, he had a try assist with an offload there for Forber. Defensively, I thought he'd done a great job and played really long minutes for a forward there to play on the edge of the middle, and I thought he was thoroughly the man of the match today for me.
Something has just occurred to me here. I mean, this is so typical of rugby league. As the final whistle went, there were fans on the pitch. We don't get that in other sports anymore.
We haven't seen that for a while, have we?
No, and there are players who are going to the supporters, to the sidelines, shaking hands down here. It's absolutely brilliant to see. Well, I think, and it sums up the sport for me. Fitzsimmons, your man of the match. There he is, right down beneath us, flinging his arms around, saying, come on, we've done it. We're the champions. We're on our way up.
That's it, and that's what it's there for. When you win trophies and you win big games, you've got to enjoy it. For some of these lads, this is a massive moment in their careers. They've never achieved anything like this before. So, and you don't get many opportunities to win trophies and win things. And this is one of those days. So yeah, fair play to the Workington players. Enjoy it, soak it up. And for a lot of these players too, they are local products. So they've got their families and close friends here. So that's probably why there's a lot of them going over and trying to embrace and spend the time with their friends and family. And fabulous scenes here at Derwent Park. Fabulous scenes.
And a word about Chris Thorman, because he took over here. The team wasn't great. They'd been relegated. He took over from Leon Price. Yep. And he's done what he wanted to do.
Absolutely. You've got to give credit to Chris Thorman, and you've got to give credit to the club too, because they've supported him and they've backed him. Like I said, he's had a couple of tough periods in his coaching career here. He's had some challenges that he's had to face and overcome, but full credit to him. He's managed to lead that side to get the job done and get promoted to the championship.
Yeah, well done Workington Town. 36 points on the day. And Doncaster did get back into it with a Johnson try in the first half. They scored again with Greensmith in the second half, but it always looked like being Workington Town's day, and so it has proved. We await the presentation of that silver trophy, which is standing rather isolated, waiting to be picked up on the far side away from us. But Cumbria needs success because it is the heartland of rugby league, along with Yorkshire and Lancashire, and they're crying out for it up in this part of the world.
Yeah, look, it's great to see the resurgence of rugby league in Cumbria. You know, we've got 3 great clubs here in Workington Town, Whitehaven and Barrow, and to see all 3 were at one point in League One have now all made the ascendancy back into the championship. I think it's great to see it. That'll hopefully inspire and continue to inspire the generation of youth to play for their local amateur clubs, which there's so many up here that are great clubs and produce some fantastic players, and hopefully, like I said, the success of Workington, Barrow and Whitehaven in the championship next season hopefully will continue to encourage players to take up the game up here for those local amateur clubs.
It's a question of third time lucky as well for Workington Town, because they've lost playoff finals before to Bradford Bulls and to Swinton.
Yes, they have.
So it's a feeling of getting it right at the end.
They have. But they've been in the championship before. It was a few years ago, but they have been there, so they know what's coming. They know what to expect, and now the board of directors and the coach have to make sure they get all their plans organised and in place to give themselves the best chance of staying up in the championship next season.
Well, we're just awaiting the presentation. As I said before, no medals presented, just a trophy to the winning team, which will be presented by Chris Brindley, the Chris Brindley MBE, League One Senior Director for Rugby Football League. So we just await the presentation of that glittering prize, which will go to Workington Town Football Club, who will be back in the championship for the first time in 2 years, having been relegated back in 2019. And they're all getting ready.
We'll get the set ready.
Yeah, you'll hear a big roar when that cup is hoisted by the captain, Jamie Doran. He had a big game as well. Well, here comes the cup. I can see it moving along the line.
There it is!
There we have it. Workington Town take the Betfred League One final convincingly against Doncaster, it has to be said. Their fans are rightly jubilant. Well, the fans, these are the days they pray for, because they have some bad days, let's face it. We all do in sport, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And, as you rightly said before, John, Workington have had some difficult periods in their history and more recent history. They faced some challenges as a club, and like you said, Chris Thorman has been given the task of guiding this team to promotion, and it's been a few years in the making, and he's had to overcome some obstacles and make some tough decisions and face some challenges along the way, but he's made it happen, or he's inspired his team to make it happen, and like you said, the hard work starts now as they enjoy tonight, enjoy the next couple of days. I'm sure they will, but then for the backroom staff, the coaching team and the board of directors, they're going to have to make some decisions on recruitment and put some plans in place ready for them to stay in the championship next season.
I'm sure that's right. The one question that coaches who've just won promotion hate is, how do you think you're going to do next season? They hate that.
Well, look, the obvious is it's going to be challenging. There's no doubt about it. That's the reality. So, but they've got as much chance as any other team of staying up. But they'll enjoy this moment, John, as the players come over to share the trophy with the loyal supporters here underneath us.
I thought they were going to show it to you, Hendo. Yeah, these are lovely scenes at Derwent Park. They really are. It's been the home of Workington Town Rugby League Football Club for so many, many years. It's not changed either, has it? Derwent Park is as it was the last time I was here.
You know what I'm loving seeing? All these kids here. All these young kids here watching the game, enjoying the experience. I love it.
Yeah, it's been a brilliant performance. It's Workington Town's trophy. And who would begrudge them? Everybody wants to be a part of it. People out there with cameras, phones, of course, which take pictures these days.
Oh, this is great. Look at this.
We call it a family game, and it is. The youngsters are running on the pitch. They're going to remember this day for the rest of their lives.
I think it's a great picture, that, isn't it? To see all those young fans just enjoying it as much as the players, and to be around them and be part of it. This is awesome. This is awesome.
Awesome for Dawson as he joins in.
Look at the chairman. The chairman's happy.
Oh, the chairman's well happy.
He's punching the air.
Yeah, Les Smallwood. Punching his fist, punching the air. Words are unnecessary on occasions, and this is one of those occasions now. You can just savour the moment, just enjoy it for what it has been. And it was convincing, no question of them squeaking it, they deserved it.
No, it was a comprehensive victory in the end. You know, I felt for large periods of the game, Workington were in control. There were some moments that Doncaster had, but you know, it started from the first minute, wasn't it? They scored in the first minute, and they were in control from minute one, really. There was a little bit of a moment there before half-time when Doncaster scored, and you thought, oh, is that going to inspire Doncaster in the second half to rise another level and sneak it? But no, Workington were just too good in the end, and the way they closed the game out was great. The way they finished the contest and closed the opposition out and took full advantage was great, and thoroughly deserved winners on the day, John.
Yeah, Joe Brown's first minute try really set the tone for the afternoon. It's been a wonderful afternoon in Cumbria for the supporters of Workington Town, one of the great traditional clubs of the Rugby Football League, and we should never ever forget that. And they will be rejoining their old rivals Barrow and Whitehaven. They don't like one another very much, but they want to play them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And the music is fading away and the celebrations are fading away, but I'm sure they'll go on long into the night here in Cumbria.